Hello, I am Michele Jochner with the Illinois State Bar Association, and this is Illinois Law. Our topic today is establishing child support in Illinois, and our guest is Ms. Diane Potts, who is a Deputy Attorney General in the Child Support Enforcement Division. Ms. Potts has been practicing since 1995, and she has been an ISBA member for her entire career. Ms. Potts, thank you so very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you're going to tell us a little bit about establishing child support in Illinois. So I think the first question is, who do you represent in court?
Well, the Attorney General's office represents the Child Support Agency, which is the Department of Health Care and Family Services, in 90 counties throughout Illinois. The other 12 counties are handled by the individual state's attorney's offices, but they also represent the department. So we have about 500,000 parents signed up for the child support program in Illinois. We handled the most amount of child support cases, but parents can hire private attorneys to litigate their matters for them as well. But when we appear in child support cases, we exclusively represent the department. So you'll have actually three parties. You'll have the department, and you'll have the mom, and you'll have the dad. And in most cases, it's just about establishing parentage and getting child support set at the proper amount. And a lot of times, all of our interests are completely the same. But there are some circumstances where they might differ, and parents always have the right and the ability to have a private attorney represent them in their child support case.
Okay, so then tell us, how does the court determine the amount of child support which is awarded?
In Illinois, we have statutory guidelines. And applying these statutory guidelines, what the court's going to do is going to look at the parent that doesn't have the primary residential custody. And the court's going to look at the income that that parent has available to pay child support. So the first step is really determining how much income is coming in from wages, investments, the source of all income. And then once that court makes that determination, the parent's going to be allowed some deductions from that. It's going to be the taxes that they pay, health insurance premiums, and a couple of other deductions that the law sets out clearly as coming off the top. After that calculation is made, the court has in front of it a net income amount. Let's say $1,000 a week. And at that point, that's when the guidelines come into play. Illinois law says that child support shall be set for one child at 20% of that net income. So $1,000, that's going to mean child support's going to be set at $200 a week. If the parents have two children together, the percentage guideline is going to be 28%. 3 children, 32%. 4 children, 40%. All the way up to 6 or more children at 50% of that parent's net income. Now, after arriving at that figure, either parent can make the argument that that child support amount is either not enough or too much because of the special circumstances that the parents have, or maybe the special needs of the child. And the court can take that all into consideration as a deviation from the guidelines. But in most of the child support program cases, the court's going to set child support right along that percentage that the law outlines as appropriate for the number of children that the parents have in common.
Okay, so with that in mind then, how is child support, once it's set, how is it collected from the person who owes it and paid to the person to whom it is owed?
Usually it happens through withholding from that parent's paycheck. So once the court enters a support order, that support order is sent over in a notice to the employer. Once the employer receives that, the law requires that employer to start withholding that child support amount from that parent's paycheck, so the parent never sees it. It's gone before the paycheck even hits that parent's bank. The employer sends that child support over to the Illinois State Disbursement Unit, which is the clearinghouse for all child support payments in Illinois. Millions of dollars in child support comes in every day to that state disbursement unit, and within usually 24 hours, it goes back out again over to the parent to whom it's owed, the custodial parent. And electronic payments are so common nowadays. The days of the paper checks are no longer with us. That custodial parent is going to receive, usually the next day, the child support right in his or her bank account. Now, if child support had not been paid in the past and there's an arrearage owed, the employer might be taking additional amounts out to try to pay down that child support arrearage. If it is a child support program case, the child support agency has a number of tools that it can use to collect that past due child support, including taking bank liens, or if the parent that owes child support has a federal tax or a state tax refund coming, we may intercept that and get that paid over to the custodial parent. Other enforcement tools, we can try to coerce compliance with the child support through driver's license suspensions, professional license suspensions, and a variety of other mechanisms that are available under Illinois law to the child support agency.
Okay, so then what happens if the person who owes child support does not have a job and there can't be this withholding? How does that work?
Yeah. You know, Michelle, with the downturn in the economy, this has been such a challenge for Illinois families. Like everything, bills get paid and child support gets paid when there's income coming in from jobs. So it has been a real challenge. Unless there's some indication that a parent is willfully trying to evade their child support obligation, the child support agency tries to understand and work with unemployed and underemployed parents to try to give them time to find jobs in many counties, the resources and the connections to try to get jobs. But we all know that the end goal is a parent can pay support when there's income coming in. So it's in the best interest of everyone to have parents that are employed, and the child support program really will help parents do that.
Well, great. Well, Ms. Potts, thank you so very much. You shared a great deal of informative information with us today, and hopefully have answered many of the questions that our viewers have. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, and to our viewers, thank you again for joining us for another segment of Illinois Law, and we hope to see you next time. Thank you.